Yesterday morning, I shared my vision of our journey in Monavie together about building character. And another point was about making a difference. Please welcome to the stage, in a way that Monavie knows how, to properly introduce to the stage a man with great character and a man who's making a difference each and every day. Please welcome Mr. Dick Hoyt. It's an honor, sir. Looking forward to hearing from you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Wow. Wow, a standing ovation. I haven't said a word yet. I got my check. I'm out of here. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm very pleased to be here. I'm sorry the better half of Team Hoyt is not with us, but you saw him on that video clip, and then you'll get to see him in some of the slides I'm going to show you, and then you'll see him again in the video we're going to show you at the end. Now, as I go through this presentation, I'd like you all to think of three small lettered words. Yes, you can, because there's no such word as can't in the Hoyt vocabulary. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk to you about Rick so you'll know why he's in a wheelchair and he can't talk and use his arms and his legs. And then after that, I'm going to show you some slides, and you'll be able to see the different types of equipment that we use in order to compete in road races and triathlons. And then at the end, we're going to show you a video of us competing in the World Championship Ironman Triathlon in Kona, Hawaii. But right now, I want to take you back to Rick's birth. It was January 10th, 1962. Rick was a very active baby, and when he was being born, he turned himself over, and the umbilical cord got twisted around his neck. And he's in such a position it took a matter of minutes before the doctors could get at it and untangle it. Well, that caused a lack of oxygen to Rick's brain, which caused brain damage, which is cerebral palsy. At the time, we knew there was something wrong with Rick, but we did not know exactly what. So the doctors made an appointment for us to see a specialist when Rick was 9 months old. We took Rick to the specialist, and they did all kinds of tests. And the tests come back, and they were very negative. They said, forget Rick, put him away, put him in an institution. He's going to be nothing but a vegetable for the rest of his life. We still haven't figured out what kind of vegetable he is. But on the way home from that doctor's appointment, Rick's mother and I, we cried. But then we talked and we said, no, we're not going to put Rick away. We're going to bring Rick home and bring him up like any other child, and this is what we have done. Rick has been mainstreamed and included all his life. Today, Rick is 48 years old. He still can't talk, use his arms and his legs, but he's graduated from public high school. He's graduated from Boston University. He lives all by himself in his own apartment. And Rick... And Rick and I have competed in 1,030 athletic events in the past 30 years. Now, you're probably all wondering, how did Rick graduate from high school and college if he can't talk? Well, we knew Rick was very bright. We could tell by looking in his eyes that he's paying attention and he understood everything that was going on. So we taught him the alphabet, and we read to him, and then we tried to get him into public school, but they said, no, he doesn't understand. He won't be able to learn. So we went and met some engineers from Tufts University in Boston, and we talked to them, and they said the same thing, that he wouldn't be able to learn. So we told the engineers to tell Rick a joke. And the engineers told Rick a joke, and Rick cracked up laughing. And they said, wow, maybe there is something there. They said, if you can get us $5,000, we'll build a communicating device for Rick. Now, you got to remember, this was 40 years ago, and $5,000 was a lot of money. But the Hoyt family raised the $5,000. We gave it to the engineers, and they built what was called the TIC, the Tufts Interactive Communicator. And the engineers were coming to our house, and everybody was betting on the first words Rick is ever going to say. Well, his mom's saying it's going to be, "Hi, Mom." Well, me to Dad, no, it's going to be, "Hi, Dad." Well, the Boston Bruins were going for the Stanley Cup. And the very first words he ever said was, "Go Bruins." So we knew right then and there that he understood everything that was going on, and he loved sports. We took Rick with his tick to the school department. The principal of the school took him in a room with some teachers, and they left us outside because before they were saying we were answering for him. They asked him questions, he answered them correctly, and they had to accept him in public school. And after that, the federal government came out with a grant, and they were building these ticks so other people could use them to communicate. Now, probably our most challenging event happened in 1992, when Rick and I decided we wanted to run and bike across the United States. Our goal was to leave Santa Monica Pier in LA and end up at the Marriott Long Wharf in Boston, covering 3,770 miles in 45 straight days without taking a day off. And everybody that had done it before said that that was impossible. They said, "You guys are in great shape. We'll give you 20 days and the trek's going to be over with." They said you have to take at least a day or 2 days off a week. Well, Rick and I thought just the opposite. We said we're going to get stronger as we came across the country, and we did. We ended up finishing it at the Marriott Long Wharf on a Thursday night in exactly 45 days. The next night, the Red Sox were playing a nationally televised game, so we ran from the Marriott Long Wharf into Fenway Park through the Green Monster. And they said that they'd give us 2 minutes to speak, and I said, "Well, what can we say in 2 minutes?" And they said, "Well, if you say Fenway Park is accessible for the disabled, we'll give you 4 minutes." So we give our 4-minute presentation, and we stayed and watched the game. The Sox did win. We went home. The next morning, we got up and went up to Fairleigh, Vermont, and did a triathlon. Now, how do we get involved in running? Rick was attending a South Middle School out in Westfield, Massachusetts, and his gym teacher got him involved in all the gym activities with all the other children. And he was also the basketball coach at Westfield State College, and he used to take Rick to the basketball games. Well, at one of the basketball games, they made an announcement that one of the lacrosse players from the college was in an automobile accident, and he was paralyzed from the waist down. So they're going to have this charity road race to try to help him raise some money so he could pay his medical bills. Well, when Rick came home from that game, he told me all about it. He said, "Dad, I have to do something for him. I want to let him know that life goes on, even though he's paralyzed. I want to run in the race." Well, at the time, I was 40 years old. I was not a runner. I used to jog maybe 3 times a week, a mile each time, just to try to keep my weight down. And that's all we had was this Mulholland wheelchair, which was prescription form fitted to Rick's body. And we had a hard time pushing him in it, never mind running in it. But we went down, and as you can see, they gave us the number 00. It was a 5-mile race. The gun went off, and Rick and I took off with all the other runners. Well, everybody thought that we would just go to the corner and turn around and come back. Well, we didn't. We finished the whole 5 miles coming in next to last, but not last. That's one thing in all the events that we've been in, we've never been last. When we got home that night, Rick wrote on his computer, "Dad, when I'm running, it feels like my disability disappears," which was a very powerful message.